Siege mode is the wave-based player versus environment game mode in Space Marine 2, where you and two of your homies get to deal with big waves of bug-like tyranids and the sorcerous powers of the Thousand Suns traitor marines, defending a giant Imperial fortress. This isn't the first time Space Marine has done a horde-based game mode, though. One of my favorite parts of the original Space Marine game was their co-op game mode exterminatus. This was the only way I could play Space Marine with my buddies cooperatively when I played Space Marine about a decade after it came out, since multiplayer had been all but abandoned with it not really having an active community, and it was absolutely brutal or straight up impossible to find a lobby. The campaign itself wasn't multiplayer either, so all I could do was beg my friends to hop on for a few admittedly very stressful and difficult rounds of sweet, sweet exterminatus. I have a whole video about exterminatus up if you want to take a little look-see at it, if you want my opinions on it. To break it down for you though, exterminatus is nice and easy as a side game mode to do after you've played through the story mode, also making it so you can get some XP for leveling yourself and classes for any form of multiplayer in Space Marine 1. But Space Marine 2 is a bit of a different beast compared to the original. Space Marine 2 has always been focused on the game being able to be played in both single and multiplayer, and it didn't have a horde mode in its initial offerings when the game came out, with Space Marine 2 having a PvP Eternal War game mode and a PvE game mode called Operations. That's closer to Spec Ops from Call of Duty, where you do cooperative fun missions with your friends. I heard about it, I was hyped about it, I loved Exterminatus, and I wondered if Siege mode was going to be just as good. So, did Siege mode live up to my expectations? Oh yeah, dude, yes, it's actually the main reason I've been booting up the game. I would say that Siege mode made Space Marine 2 so much better. But before I go over how this little game mode full of joy makes everything better, let's talk about how it's good on its own. Siege mode pretty much drops you into instant action and just lets you go, while other missions make it so you have to think if you want to fight Thousand Suns or Tyranids and what you're in the mood for. When you reload in a Siege, it's just going to tell you if you're fighting the Thousand Suns or Tyranids. In Siege mode, it just picks for you and then flip-flops between every arena. There's a cool shop system in this game mode that allows you to do things like buy Cadian Guardsmen or some loot for yourself like Medicae stims or grenades. My favorite is that you can order Cadian Guardsmen and they'll be around you for a long time, which I think is something that is sorely missed out on every game mode except for the campaign. You also get to order in more Space Marines. They allow you to get certain buffs and perks for the time they're on the battlefield, making it so they aren't just another entity to take aggro, but something that helps you out personally. And you get to see more of the Dreadnought. You can call in the Dreadnought after saving up a large sum of credits. And the Dreadnought quickly became the fan favorite thing for everybody to see in this game, especially after the campaign mode. Siege mode also becomes overwhelmingly brutal at some points, which is fun because there's no real area in the game where you have to fight against 20 warriors at the same time, while your team has to fight 2 Carnifexes at the same time. There's also snakes and landmines everywhere, not to mention the new Biovore. Makes it insanely fun and chaotic to play. Another thing that makes it really cool is that after every 5 rounds, you could leave and still be given a large sum of XP and other rewards. Making it so it's not something you have to dedicate a whole 45 minutes to. This is an easy thing to hop into and play for 20 minutes and then stop. That isn't a PvP mode like any of the offerings in Eternal War. Also, XP rewards are amazing in this game mode, especially if you choose to play the harder difficulty, making it so grinding out levels and credits isn't as difficult as it used to be before. There are some things I would like to see in the game mode, though. For example, I would like to see some different maps. Right now, we only have the Fortress, which is on Kodaku. It's nice. It's got some pretty good Fortress-like aspects to it, but it would be cool to see some of the other styles of architecture in Space Marine shown in this mode also. I would also like it if you could actually choose different modifiers to make the game harder on yourself, which is more because I personally like when games do that. For example, Hades or Destiny. Now, is this because I really like how Destiny reworked their challenge system? Maybe a little, but that's okay, because it's fun. To put it simply, Siege mode is like putting MSG on top of Space Marine 2, because you don't have to put a wave-based game mode on everything, but damn does it taste good when you do. From the instant action to overwhelming horde sizes that offer rampant chaos and challenge, to making the grind for leveling a little easier. I really like Siege Mode. But I'm genuinely interested on what you guys think of Siege Mode if you played it. Or just about various horde modes in games in general, because overall, I'm a really big fan of them, like Killing Floor 2 and Call of Duty Zombies and stuff like that. Tell me in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and subscribe so you can see more of my content. Till next video, fellas!